Hi, all of you. Welcome to Quant Masters. I hope you had a great day, a great time in the exam. Now, today, again, when students sent me their methods, it was quite complex, quite lengthy, quite boring, and formula based. So, in today's class, we will see how we can solve problems without using any formulas, without using any traditional methods, without making it complicated, in the simplest, in the best, and the most interesting way. Let's start the class. So this question was asked today. The mean. What do you mean by mean, people? Mean is nothing but average. The average of 29 observations is 33. On adding one more observation, the new mean becomes 34. What is the value of the 30th observation? So they are telling the average of 29 observations. They have given us how much? 33. So you tell me sum of 29 observation will be how much, sir? Now, whatever method that I am solving, no, this is how 99% people solve. Okay, see how they solve. Then we'll come to our technique. Okay, so sum of 29 observations will be how much? Sum of 29 observations will be 29 into 33. Now start doing drama. 29 into 33 is how much? 990 minus 33, that is 960 minus 3, 957. Okay, so this is the sum of 29 results or observation. Now they're telling on adding one more observation. Okay, which means initially there were 29. On adding one more means what? Now there are 30 observations and the new mean becomes 34. So can you tell me what is the sum of 30 observations? Sir, sum of 30 observations will be 30 into 34. How much is 30 into 34? 3 threes are 9, 90 plus 12 is 102 followed by 0, 1020. Sir, sum of 30 observations 1020, sum of 29 observation 957. So can I say the 30th observation will be how much, sir? Difference among them, that is nothing but 43 plus 20, that is nothing but 63. Do we have this option? Yes, sir. Option B. As I mentioned, this is how 99% of people solve. This is not how we solve. We solve it without even touching the pen. Okay. So how are we solving? Look at this. The mean of 29 observation is 33. Now 29 observation average is 33. Sir, even if the 30th observation was 33, average would have been the same. But what is happening? Average is increasing by 1. On how many observations, sir? Initially 29 were there, now added 1 means now average is increasing by 1 on 30 observations. I repeat, initial average was 33 and now average is increasing by 1 on 30 observations. So what is 30 plus 33? It is nothing but 63. Am I getting the same answer in the easiest, fastest and the best way without even touching the pen? Okay, how we do? 33 plus 1 into 30. That's all is the answer. Let's go to the next one. Profit and loss. A sells an article to B at a profit of 15%. B then sells it to C at a profit of 20%. If C paid rupees 690, then what is the original price of the article? Now see, you don't have to draw diagrams like this, okay? A selling to B, B selling to C. Let A buy at X. He is selling to B at a profit of 15 means 1.15x. All this is not needed. Now I'll just give you a small concept, okay, before I solve. Now can I say xy by 100, or let me put it this way. Can I say x% of y and y% of x both are the same? How, sir? X% of y means what? X% of y. Y% of x. Xy equal to yx? No. Which means in percentage, order is not important. So what I will do, I'll assume originally, let me say 100% A is buying. Okay, now increase by 15%, increase by 20%. I'll increase by 20%. 100% increase by 20% is what, sir? 100% increase by 20% becomes 120%. Now 120% increase by 15% is what? Increase by 15. So 10% is 12, 5% is 6. So 120 increase by 15% is nothing but 18% increase. So 120 increase by 18 is what, sir? 138%. And this 138% is nothing but how much, sir? 690. So if 138% is 690, they're telling original price is what? 100% is what? So you might do your favorite method, cross multiply. I'll not do that. Now see, half of 138 is nothing but 69. So this will be 5s followed by 0. And there is a percentage here, so it gets multiplied here. So answer is 5,000. Am I doing any mistake here? 138. Okay, 138. Okay, 138. Half of 138 is 69. So 5s will be 690. Is it clear? And I have percentage here, so I'll put 2 more zeros. So answer is 500. Option B. Sir, how are you doing this? Very simple. 138 into 5, just take half of 138. What is half of 138? Half of 138 is 69. Attach a 0. 690. If I ask you, what is 842 into 5? What is half of 842? Half of 84 is 42. Half of 2 is 1 followed by 0. Answer is 4210. If I ask you, what is 127 into 5? Half of 12 is 6. Half of 7 is 3.5. So answer is 635. If I know this technique, no, I am saving 5 seconds here. Minimum 5 seconds. But what will you be doing? You will be doing cross multiplication. Is it clear? Every technique is important. We shall go to the next one. Simple and compound interest. The difference between simple interest and compound interest calculated annually on a certain amount at a rate of 20% per annum for 2 years is 248.20. What is the amount? Now see, I'll tell you 99% of people, they'll apply one of the two methods. Okay, first they'll find simple interest for 2 years. They'll find compound interest for 2 years. Difference between them will give them the answer. This is method number 1. Method number 2, they apply big formulas. Okay, we will do this without using any of the two methods, but you need to know a concept here. All of you. Let me say 1,000 rupees, 10%. 1,000 rupees, 10%. This I am buying at compound interest. This I am taking at simple interest from the bank. I'm taking loan. Bank is telling Himanshu, you have to pay 10% every year. Per annum means every year. 10% of principal. So 10% of principal. 1,000. What is 10%, sir? 100. So I have to pay 100 rupees extra. At the end of 1 year, how much should I pay to the bank? 1,100. Second year, again I have to pay 100 rupees extra. Why? Because 10% of 1,000, again 100. So at the end of 2 years, I pay 1,200. This is my total amount. And what is my total interest? 200 rupees extra I'm paying. Are you able to understand? All of you. Now coming to compound interest, 10% of 1,000 is nothing but 100. So at the end of 1 year, I pay 1,100. Now second year, whatever is my amount becomes my principal. So 10% of this is 110. So I'll be paying 1,210. What is the difference I got, sir? Difference I got is 10. Now I will tell you how to get this 10 in the fastest way. Sir, 110, can I split this as 100 plus 10? Sir, this 10 is there, no? This 10 is 10% of interest. And this interest is 10% of principal. I repeat, whatever I have this 10 rupees, this 10 rupees is 10% of interest. And whatever is interest is 10% of principal. So if I want to find, I repeat, if I want to find the difference, it is nothing but interest of principal. Whatever I get interest of principal, find the interest of that. That's all. Is it clear? Now look at this sum. How do we solve without even touching the pen? So here principal is what? 1000. So interest is how much, sir? 10%. So what is 10% of 1000? It is nothing but 100. Now if you want the difference in amount, it is 10% of 100. What is 10% of 100? 10. That's all. Am I getting the same answer? Now I'll apply the same technique over here. Sir, rate is 20%. So interest will be what? Interest will be 20% of principal. And difference will be 20% of this 20%. Now you tell me what is 20% of 20%? Sir, I have 20%. No. 10% is 2 rupees or 10% is 2. If 10% is 2, 20% will be what, sir? 4%. So 4% of principal is nothing but 248.20. 4 ones are 46205. 2 places before the decimal. So you put 2 places before decimal. Percentage means by 100, if it goes here, dot goes. So answer is 6205. Do we have that, sir? Option C. How many lines did I take to solve? 1 line. Clear? Let's go to the next one. Ratio and proportion. The income of A and B are in the ratio 8:5. So I'll write down this, okay? A and B. They have given income of A and B is 8:5. And expenditure is 13:7. If saving is 3000 each, please adjust with my writing. I'm new to this pen, okay? I'm not that good. Okay, so if each are saying 3000, what is the expenditure of B? Now see, these type of sums, what do? Make the difference between ratios constant. Now I'll tell you how others will do. They'll take 8x, 5x, 13y, 7y. So they'll do 8x minus 13y is 3000. And then they'll take 5x minus 7y equal to 3000. All that you let other people do, okay? We will not be doing in that way. How we solve these type of sums? Make the difference between ratios same. Sir, here difference is 3. Here difference is 6. Now LCM of 3 and 6 is what? LCM of 3 and 6 is nothing but 6. So 3 what's the 6? 3 2s are 6. So multiply this ratio by 2. 8 2s are 16. 5 2s are 10. Cancel this. Now see, I'll cancel this, okay? 16 is becoming 13. Or income is 16, expenditure is 13. So can I say he's saving 3 units here? Sir, he's earning 10 and spending 7, which means can I say saving is 3 units here? Sir, he's saving 3 units, he's saving 3000. He's saving 3 units, he's saving 3000, which means this 3 units is 3000. Sir, if 3 units is 3000, 1 unit will be 1000. Yes or no, people? Sir, if 1 unit is 1000, what are they asking? Expenditure of B. B is 7 units. If 1 unit is 1000, 7 units will be 7000. Is it clear? Now, if you have understood, like, sir, 60% I've understood, I have taken another example sum for you. Ratio of weekly income of A and B. So, income of A and B. Income of A and B. They have given us 9:7. And expenditure, they have given us 4:3. Now they're telling saving, they're saving 200 each. What do? Just make the difference between the ratios common. Here difference is 2, here difference is 1. Sir, LCM of 2 and 1 is 2, so multiply this by 2. Because 1 into 2 will only give me 2. So this will become 8, this will become 6, cancel the previous ratio. Now see. Sir, 9 he's earning, he's spending 8, which means he's saving 1 unit. He's earning 7, spending 6, which means he's saving 1 unit. He's saving 1 unit, 200, 1 unit, 200, which means this 1 unit is 200. If 1 unit is 200, sum of their weekly income. So sum will be 9 plus 7, 16 units. If 1 unit is 200, 16 units will be 16 into 200. That is nothing but 3,200. That is option B. As simple as that. Am I right, people? Now, let us look at this sum. This question, many people struggled, okay? They did P1, T1, R1 by 100, P2, T2, R2 by 100. Okay, they do something like this, all of you. This is how maximum people solve. Total interest equals interest 1 plus interest 2. Sir, interest 1 is P1, T1, R1 by 100. Interest 2 is P2, T2, R2 by 100. Gone. Pack your bags and go home if you're doing this way. A person invested a certain amount in scheme A and B at 10% and 15. So there are two schemes, A and B. Okay. 10% means he's getting 10% from scheme A and 15% from scheme B. This is what they're trying to tell. If the amount invested in B is 2/3 of the amount invested in A, and the total interest in 1 year is 2,400, what is the amount invested in scheme B? Now, you know this sum, how simple it is to solve. I'll tell you what technique we can apply here, all of you. Let me take example. Here only I'll take example, okay? All of you. Let me say I'm investing 100 rupees in scheme A and 100 rupees in scheme B. Here at 10%, here at 20%. So you tell me 10% of 100 I'm getting how much? 10 rupees. 20% of 100 I'm getting how much? 20 rupees. Is it clear? Now let me take another example so that you understand better. A and B are the two schemes. Now try to understand. Here I am getting 10% and here I am getting 20%, which means what? Here interest rate is double. Focus, okay? Now here principal will be 1,000 and here principal will be 500. What is happening here? Sir, here principal is getting double, sir. Here interest rate was double, here principal is double. Now see what is the result. So interest I'll be getting is what? 10% of 1,000, that is nothing but 100. Here I'll be getting 20% of 500, that is nothing but 100. Which means total interest I'm getting is the same. Are you all able to understand what I've done here? Sir, you make interest double, okay, or you make principal half, I'll get the same answer. Clear, all of you? Now the same technique I will apply in this sum. Look at this sum, people. A and B are there. They are telling A is getting 10%, B is getting 15%. So can I say here interest is 2/3? Isn't 10 2/3 of 15? And then they're telling principal of B is 2/3 of A. Sir, here principal is 2/3, sir. So here principal of B is 2/3. Here interest is 2/3 and here principal is 2/3. So can I say interest will be the same for both? So if total interest is 2,400, B will be getting 1,200 and A will be getting 1,200. Simple technique. Did you understand? Now what are they asking? What is the amount invested in B? Sir, I am getting 15% of principal in B. And this 15% is nothing but how much, sir? 1,200. 15 ones are 15 eights are followed by 0. Percentage double 0 multiply. So 80 into 100 is what, sir? 8,000. Do I have this option? Option B. How many lines did I take, sir? Even this I don't have to do. Even this line is not needed. How many lines? One line. Is it clear? But you will take 6-7 lines to solve. Okay. So this completes